Alright guys, so I'm gonna explain the build I've done. So it's a variation from the other build I did. I'm a competitive player, so I wanted to run the drill side twice from the depot. I modified the build just for that purpose, not saying that it's better than the previous build, but for what I wanted to do. It's indeed better suited to make that little drill side run on the same scale. So one thing to note, as you've seen, I have 2 level in confirmative reality. I'm able to run the drill side twice on the same action skill, so I guess it's really not needed. I guess that resonance cascade could have been better for this variation. Don't waste time with absolute 0. This thing never trigger if targets are dead before the freeze, which is the case with this build, so don't lose time with absolute 0. As usual, action at distance is great with this build, and neutron decay is upping the gun damage up to 50%, which is very strong. We have creative overflow, which is going to 36%, and for this variation of the build, I dropped the coherence, which is unfortunate because it's one of the best skill on the Harlowe grain tree. It's actually borderline OP, so it's a bit sad that I dropped it, and I had to drop latent charge and feedback loop, but feedback loop has been kind of replaced on the blue tree. I'm gonna show that very soon. So I'm using excited state, which is OP combined to nuclear winter. As usual, everyone knows about that thing, so it's there's not much to explain there. Distribution function to keep the shield plenty with the overshield, which is as well used with creative overflow. It was good for latent charge. We don't use it, so never mind. This one to keep the life full. It's always useful to get. And there's obviously group study with this build. On the blue side of thing, the main core I wanted to use to run the drill side twice was concurrence and control group, like that. So this is the core mechanic which allowed me to run the drill side twice on the same action skill. It's a very strong skill. So the blue tree is regarded as one of the lesser powerful builds for Harlowe, but it doesn't mean there is not powerful skill in that tree. Flash trees is known to be powerful. Keep eyes on that is known to be powerful. I would say that even this triple point is one point for 30% bonus cryo damage if you did cryo, or 15% is very powerful. But anyway, it's not the point of the build. The point was to get specifically these two things, which is very expensive in points. As you can see, I had to invest 24 points, which was borderline, limiting my green tree to get to the group study. So I borderline made it. So I decided to go with the parallel circuit, because when the boss is popping, I will trigger my action skill to gain for 8 seconds 30% gun damage. I did put 1 level in negative entropy, which I don't really care about, and 1 level into periodic table flip. This is because I wanted to unlock precision engineering, which is 30% critical hit damage for only 3 points. It's amazing. It's very strong, one of the strongest skill in the blue tree, in my opinion. There's a cryodynamic. It's very minor on this build. We don't really deal that much cryo damage, but anyway, we had to spend points on something, and I was not gonna spend the points on this because we don't need that. The same reason we don't really need the confirmative reality. So this one would like synergize a little bit with the resonance cascade. If we were to use it in the build, that's how I would do it. Next time I will use these 2 points over there, and it's gonna help little bit because cryodynamic will boost the cryo damage from our action skill, which in turn helps getting a little bit more distribution shield on the build. So for the inventory, the gear of my build didn't change at all. Still using that sweet shock dot, sweet embrace. Note that 7,000 dot damage per second is multiplied by 4 because we shoot 4 pellets, so we are more talking about 28k DPS from the dot style from this weapon. And if I wanted to one-shot a boss, I could be using the Benefic Stellium, so I do lose on the coherence. We do lose a lot of boss potential on this build. This thing is still going to melt bosses, so this version of my dot style Harlowe is also still destroying bosses anyway. So let's see in December when they make the raid boss if I would rather prefer the other version, which was bossing better, but the action skill lasted less time for mobbing. But for running the hell site, this version was actually amazing. I think I prefer it over the previous build. So yeah, there's that. So sometimes I need to shoot for wombo combo. Ceramic Bud, don't really use it. I'm not focused for that, but it's always fun to carry a bud. I just like a bud is a bud. Everybody needs a bud. Okay. But it's not for the build anyway. And this is just if I need to shoot a flyer, which is 4, and I'm in fight for your life, and I really need to trigger a kill. And I am using same shiny warpaint with Enrage, which is amazing. Atomic multiplying waterfall, as you've seen in the video I made on Reddit. This thing helped me clear an invincibility orb. It's amazing against vile enemies. This thing is also amazing against vile enemies, so it's good for that as well. If you wanted to farm vile enemies bounties, this build is amazing for that. Field Scientist, completely broken class mode. And it's having 30% status effect damage, which is amazing with our build. The splash damage is great with the Sweet Embrace, which is having a ton of splash damage, by the way. It's natively having, you see that? 150 centimeters per pellet. Explosion are huge. My melee one enhancer is having prime potency, answering on reload that the first shot will indeed trigger the dot damage. The fire rate is boosted by 25%. The splash radius is boosted even more, 50%. And we have the shotgun reload speed, 38%, which is amazing to apply the dot style. We need that. It's crucial in that build. And finally, for the drill site, I'm not running my 100% amp watts per dinner. I want my overshield, so I'm using a 50% variation with the siphon. And for the firmwares, as you can see, I'm using high caliber and airstrike, which is buffing the splash damage by 20%, as well as the radius to make sure we are able to easily damage twice the enemies with high caliber, which is great. And for the specialization, I don't really focus that much in the tree. The way I'm doing the specialization when I'm gaining points is I'm trying to level up everything. I don't think it matters much. It's small bonuses each time. What matters is the chosen skills. So I have contamination, which when I'm not reloading my gun to add dots, it helps me add dots, which is good. It hops our DPS. And one shot, one kill, we do a ton of damage. So this carries over a lot of damage on the next target that we kill. We have Riddle You This, which is just completely broken, 50% extra gun damage. And I Am a Gun, we don't really need this one, except that we have so much gun damage that it helps us keep the overshield active on the build. It's healing us because we add half of the gun damage to our action skill damage, which is coming from Nuclear Winter. So it's not bad, but it's not great. If I was bossing with the Stellium, I would actually use this 30% multiplier. So that's it for the build, guys. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.